Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It is nice to connect with you all in this warm evening with Mr. Velu. Mr. Velu, good evening. Hope you're doing well.
Good evening, Arun. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. We are in this pandemic situation, and we are seeing a light in the tunnel, and we see vaccine being started planning for distribution, and we are excited about that vaccine. But I'm sure it's going to take several months for everyone to receive. During this pandemic, everyone started wondering, what will be the future. Many people had a lot of uncertainty in their job security. Many businesses suffered a lot during this pandemic, and I'm sure this pandemic must have opened a lot of eyes on their financial planning. Should I plan now, or what mistake I made? Why I didn't plan this in the future? So people have a lot of financial questions. So this program is all about answering questions people have, and probably they may not ask outside. So I'm going to represent our community, our friends and family, and I'm going to put their questions in front of you, and hopefully get some interesting answer for them. So that is the goal of the show. The title of the show is why money should work for you. So that is the title of the show. So, Velu, before I get into the title, I'm going to ask you a question, right? Why Mr. Velu is answering this question? What made you to get qualified in all these areas, and why you are here? Can you please give a brief introduction about you?
Sure. Thank you very much, Arun. And good evening, everyone. And thank you for attending this session. And I'm very, very thankful to you, and especially during this Thanksgiving. I'm thankful to this country and thankful to all the opportunities. And why me, right? And I'm a person who came here in 1998 on a green card visa, a family sponsored visa, and struggled to get a $7 job. And I did not have money to go back because I only had $1,000 between my wife and I needed $2,000 to go back to buy the flight ticket. And somehow I survived. And now, making the money work, I'm able to spend a lot of quality time for myself and for my family and live the life to the fullest. And so, since I'm leading myself as an example in this particular area of how the money should work for me to create a horizontal income that is equivalent to the amount of income I used to create in IBM, and much more than that. Now I think I'm eligible as a person who has experience to be able to give them some tips from my experience for them also to follow.
Awesome, Mr. Velu. I think you have completed a kind of certification, and you got all the legal permits to speak about this subject. Am I right?
Exactly. First of all, first license I got was a realtor license, and then I have become a broker. I have a broker license, and I have a mortgage loan officer license, and I also have the life insurance agency license, and I'm a life coach, certified life coach, and I'm also a certified financial services planner.
So, can I say that this combination is very rare in our community? Am I right, or am I wrong, sir?
100%, I think it is pretty unique because I come from giving. Basically, I'm the founder of Sasta Tamil Foundation, which is focusing on contributing. So basically, 20% of my time goes for charity, teaching people, Sunday schools and Tamil school and all that, right? So end of the day, it helps me help people to become successful in their financially, so that they have a happier life to contribute to others. So that helps me grow in my business as well. So it is a pretty unique combination. Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. The reason why because I knew that but I wanted to, extract that information and present it to our audience so they know who you are and how unique your experience could be. And that's been said. I wanted to really, talk about one important thing, right? So I was always wondering why this financial planning is not in our school curriculum or in college curriculum. You know, why it is not taught. I checked with few people, and it is not taught. So, but the financial managing is very critical for anyone to be very successful in their life or in entrepreneurship or business career, anything. They want to have a financial knowledge, how to manage it. Correct. So, how you decided to get expertise in this area? What is the need? Did you find any data to prove that people are lagging in this? So, what made you to get yourself expert in this subject?
Okay, quite a few parts to this question. So basically, why people don't do financial planning and all that is mainly, first of all, we used to focus on the job. Once we get a job, very comfortable, I can buy a car, I have $100,000, I feel very comfortable, then I'm settled. But many times I don't really worry, and I think that it is going to keep on coming. But when COVID comes, or when the visa is rejected, or when my skill is no longer valid, I have to retool my skill, then the fear sets in. That is the time, oh, you're too late. You should have probably thought about it earlier, right? So 50 years ago, if you have a government job, if you retire in a government job, your entire life is taken care of, you're going to get a pension. But today that is not the case, right? So the world is continuously changing, your requirements are continuously changing, your expectancy of life expectancy is going up. So because of all these things, you need to plan, and you need to be able to find out how much money you will need. Say, supposing if you're going to live until 90, and I'm at 60 years old, 30 more years, okay? Say, supposing if I need about $10,000 to live for myself, and about another $5,000 for my travel or medical or whatever it is, and every 20 years that number is doubling. Let's say $15,000 becomes $30,000. So let's put it at, say, $25,000 per month as an average for 30 years. What do you think is the total number do you need? So for per year, it is about $300,000, and 10 years, it is about $3 million. And if I'm going to live for 30 years, what is that? It's about $9 million, right? So there is no way I'm going to earn the $9 million, right? So it is better for me to invest properly so that I generate $10,000 to $15,000 of income today. That keeps growing along with the inflation. So when the inflation goes up, my income also goes up. Then I'm kind of settled for life. Don't you think?
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing from you is, I'm hearing a positive rhythm. For example, I'm making $100 per hour. Just I'm throwing some numbers. So if I do the financial correctly, this $100 income could be $200 or could be $300 when I put all the future earnings, if I plan my finance correctly. Am I right, sir?
So can you rephrase the question? So
the value of the money is right now is $100 per hour I'm making. Right. If I don't plan my finance, this $100 is going to be $100. But if I plan my finance correctly, very well, this $100 value could be more than that. So that is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Say, supposing you have been earning for 5 years, let's say 5 years, and you have saved $20,000 a year. So you have $100,000 today. Okay. And if you properly invest that money, that gets you about 15 to 20% average return, right? Let's say for easy math. I believe that we can make it happen. 20% a year, 5 years, your money is able to double, let's say, for example. So the $100,000 can become $200,000 in 5 years' time. Say, supposing if you are so fearful And if you put the money in bank and or in 401k where it is not growing properly, you pump in too much of money, and the $100,000 has become only $110,000 in 10 years time.
Mm.
Probably whatever you can buy for $100,000 today probably is going to cost you 200,000, or maybe more. So there is a huge inflation, right? So first of all, you need to catch up with the inflation and then make much more than that for you to be able to live the best life. So that is where you need to make your money work. Two reasons: one is to catch up with inflation, and second one is to produce much more for you to live your life from the income produced from your savings.
Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome. So I think of the you have presented the data in my theory, like, if you invest well, the money what you make is the value is more. So that being said, after this pandemic, you see a great potential in investing right now as we speak, right? So why you see this pandemic as a great opportunity?
Um, I have been going to Tony Robbins for a very long time. I would like to show my gratitude and appreciation for what he has taught me, and my life has changed for the better because of him. One of the things what I have learned is every problem has an opportunity. Every problem, even if it was tsunami or it was anything, the Chennai floods showed all the people, the best people were brought to light during that time, right? And they were all working to take care of the people around. So like that, this pandemic, it has got a lot of good things which are happening. We are all able to have a good family time, and we are also, a lot of people are thriving in their business. Especially, I heard that your Talam has got 35,000. How many followers right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, close to 35,000 followers.
35,000, right? So you started it during COVID, right?
COVID
So,
pandemic, yes.
so it is good for you, and all the 35,000 people are also benefiting, correct? So, like
Absolutely.
that, I was looking for an opportunity. This COVID should present some opportunity. What is that? What is that? What is that? And then finally, I figured it out that online sales is going up. So there is the logistics is actually doubling, tripling, right? So the number of trucks are increasing, and there is not much industrial warehouse enough to be able to give them the parking space or something like that. So the industrial warehouse cannot be built anywhere you want. It has to have zoning, right? So the industrial warehouse, even if you double the rent right now, people are willing to pay because they are not able to find the
Demand.
proper. Yeah, the demand is pretty high,
Mhm.
300%. So now we have figured it out that if you go into the industrial warehouse, in the past performance of my partner and I, we are able to see that it has already grown to 3x in 5 years. You know what a 3x is? 300% return, right?
Yes. Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
$100,000 of investment in 5 years, it is valued at $380,000 after they are distributing 10 to 15% cash on cash distribution every year, right? So I'm using a lot of terms which you may be familiar or not, but we will get to it.
Yeah, definitely. So just to add your story, because I'm coming from an entrepreneur background. I own several businesses, so I would like to throw a few additional points for this particular subject, right? So recently, I heard that the biking industry is picking like a crazy. They are unable to meet the demand because, particularly in New York and California, people are now seeing a space in the driveway for them to bike, which they never used to feel safe because of number of cars. Nowadays, number of cars is used very less because people are staying at home. So that road infrastructure is used for a biking. So bike industry is skyrocketing. And then another industry is, pet industry. People are staying at home, they want pet like crazy. So all the breeders are in a very high demand. As soon as they have a good quality breed of pets, it's been sold already. So every lifestyle changes, there is an opportunity. I think you nailed it very clearly. This pandemic, online sales have increased the demand of warehouse. So now it being said, So now let us say that people are building warehouse like crazy across United States, right? So how you or I can make money out of it, Mr. Velu. Help us to understand, why and how you see this as an opportunity for people like me and you.
Okay. So the industrial warehouse, the demand right now is more than 1 billion square foot. So that means whatever demand that can happen in 5 years' time has already happened, right? So basically, there is no way for us to be able to build very fast. Right now, we are not, we are just going into a segment which we can put our hands on. The opportunity can be huge, but you can only capture what it is possible for you, right? So we are going after $2 to $8 million properties, small properties. And so it is like in a single family home. For a rental home, we buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage, like that.
Correct.
So we go for it and we buy it at a lower price. That is a cap rate of 7%. That means pay a lower price where people are desperate to sell it and want to get the money faster. So usually when they sell it in a commercial, it may take about 6 months for them to realize the money. But during pandemic, a lot of people, the older people want to retire, and some people, they may need money to cover some other businesses. They need money immediately. So we pay them within about 2 months' time, and we pay them a pretty, good discounted price. So we enter with a lot of discount and equity in there. There itself, we are making a profit, right? That's number one. And number two, they have an existing lease for maybe about another 2 years or 3 years. And now when we do the market analysis, the possibility of increasing the rent to 20 to 30% is very possible. That's what our market analysis says. And maybe mom and pop who owns that, they may not know that, because we are doing that. And once you increase it to 20 to 30%, the increase in rent, the value of the property is going to go up like crazy. Like if you buy it at $8 million, you probably would have put $2 million for the loan as a down payment, but you may make $4 million in profit just by increasing the rent, right? So like that, there is a huge opportunity right there. And we have already announced AC's Fund 2 RV LLC, where we are buying 20 to 25 industrial warehouses for $100 million. And we are raising about $30 million with our, people, those who are acquainted with us. So that is what is already happening. And we are closing 3 properties, 2 in Atlanta and 1 in Jacksonville, Florida by December 15th.
So the opportunity, what you're saying is the demand, that the 1 billion square feet demand is the opportunity. So there's nothing but people behavior. The people behavior have changed that produce the opportunity for people like you and me who can invest $50,000, $100,000, $250,000. The money which we keep it safe somewhere else can be utilized right now to make as you said, 3x, 4x. I'm not, promising any returns here, but just for our discussion reference, I'm saying, it could be 2x or 3x. So that is a great, opportunity looks like. So how long do you see this opportunity is going to be for next few years, or do you have any insights on that?
So we believe in one cycle of about 3 to 4 years is one cycle. We may go for 2 cycles, but within that we may make profits 3 times, right? Yeah. So that is the master plan what we have. Usually in multifamily, we increase the rent one time and then we exit in 5 years and then make a profit and close the LLC. But here, when you put the $50,000 and we increase the rent, and then we have plans of refinancing and distributing some capital back to them. And then finally, we have a plan to, make it as a $500 million property and then sell it to REIT at a very high profit and all that. So basically, you have an exit every 4 years. So which means you have to be invested at least for about 4 to 5 years. It is a little bit of a long-term investment, and you cannot just take the money out as and when you need, like putting it in a bank. But otherwise, you will be able to get yearly dividends, right? Paid quarterly and all that. So that is, so as you rightly said, even though we talk about 3x, 4x and all that, we don't promise anything. Conservatively, we say that 20 to 25% return and things like that. Again, it is all, past performance is not a guarantee for future, right? So
correct, absolutely. So you rightly said. Now, if I'm working in an organization, my wife is working in an organization, so we both make decent living. May say that collectively we make 15K a month or 20K a month. So for a family like my size, what would be the size of investment you would required, and and then what is the size of investment you are expecting for this particular project? The reason why I'm saying is, the question is, can I partner with someone if I couldn't put all those 100,000 you're expecting? So how your offering is going to help if I want to come in full or if I want to come in partial?
Okay. So I'm going to answer a little bit more than what you asked. Basically, this opportunity was not available for everybody because my partner used to accept only people, those who were able to come up with a minimum of $1 million of investment. Now I have negotiated to make it possible for small timers to put $50,000, right? The minimum investment is now $50,000. And supposing if you cannot bring a $50,000, all you need to do is just join with 2 or 3 people, 4 people, and then create an LLC, and you can come up with 75, 50, 100, whatever it is, and we can still make it happen. But the only thing is, we need to have a conversation. You need to know me, and you need to be a sophisticated investor or an accredited investor and all that, which I would be able to explain.
Sure. That being said, when you talk about, meeting with you, so I know that people will be asking question, how can they schedule a meeting with you? I think, we spoke about this. I prepared this, the banner for you, for our audience. You can schedule a meeting with Velu at meetwithvelu.com. And, he promised us to give 30 minutes of his time for you without any obligations. He can look into your financials because he's a qualified financial advisor as well, and he's a successful real estate entrepreneur. So you can put all his experts into your records, and he can guide you or to make you an informed decision. So thank you so much for that 30 minutes offer for our community, Mr. Velu. So now, can you explain the process? So now you have helped us to understand why you are qualified and experienced professional in this area, and then you have explained us why now, why during this pandemic, and what is opportunity. That is, I think that is a great subject to touch. And then you also explained that I can invest anywhere between 15 to 50,000, and then if I cannot meet your 50,000 criteria, I can combine with my friends and put 50,000 together from an LLC. I can do it. So looks like there is no strong barrier for me to get into it. So I may have some questions, but I don't think so there is any barrier. So let us talk about the returns on investment, right? What is the average return on investment if I invest in any other project? And what is the best return on investment in your project? So not best, average in both the project. For example, I'm living in and I'm investing in apartment. So then I'm investing in your project. So what is the difference?
So compared to multifamily, industrial warehouse looks like it is more than 60% more returns right now because of what is going on. And so basically, I do have some statistics in the presentation what I have on my website, meetwithvelu.com. If you can watch that, you will be able to see those graphs and things like that. And that is the best place right now where you can get the most money. And so single, we have got multiple options, right? You can invest in single family. You can become a lender with, you can loan your money as a lender for our flip projects at about 12 to 15% interest. It's a flat interest, right? But whereas when you become a limited partner into a multifamily, most of the time, the total return in about 5 years, including the cash flow, is about 80 to 90%. But now here, we are able to say that you will be able to get in 5 years time about 125. That itself is about 35% more in 5 years time. But again, it is all conservative estimate. When you say conservative estimate, we consider all kinds of possible problems into consideration, right? So what if this happens, what if that happens? So we try to minimize and minimize and minimize, but if those things doesn't happen, then your profitability is
All
higher.
right.
So that is the reason why. But again, people may not have the risk. Each one have got a different risk tolerance, right? So because of that, they may not feel comfortable. So for them, we may have different vehicles, right? So if you go by cycle, you can go at certain speed. If you go in a motorbike, you can go in certain speed. If you go in Tesla, you can go in certain speed. Like in plane, you can go, right? So,
Yeah.
but based on your comfort level, you can pick the vehicle. But if you're comfortable going a little bit slower, safer, and all that, we have those things as well. So I know that you will have plenty of questions. That is why I'm willing to give my time to answer your specific questions as well. And thank you very much for saying that meetwithvelu.com is the way to go for them to register to get my time.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. That's great. So the next question for me, obviously, is uh, how long and what is the process for me to get invested in this project? Assuming that I meet with you and I feel comfortable and you feel comfortable with me, say that I have $50,000, I'm ready to invest. So what is the process after that? How long it's going to take? So what is the process? Can you please help us to understand?
Sure, sure. So basically, you first you go through the complete 1 hour webinar we have done. So that is going to educate you about the risks and opportunities. And I want to make sure that you are an accredited investor, and we create a relationship. And I answer all your questions, and then I share with you the PPM, right? Private placement memorandum is the legal document the lawyer has designed. And as you know that these are all regulated by Stock Exchange Commission, right? SEC. It comes under SEC rules, and we need to update them with who are our investors, whether they are accredited, which state they are coming from, and all that kind of stuff, right? So you will go through that private placement memorandum that talks about what is our business plan, how much is the fees we are going to charge, how much we are going to take, and all those. You review it, and then once you're comfortable, then you fill out a subscription form. And once the subscription is reviewed and accepted, then you wire the money, and then we execute the document and send it over to you. And this one is compared to multifamily is only one apartment and one day of closing and it is done. But here, this is a fund model where we are going for 20 to 25 properties, and we are only closing 3 properties this month, right? So we don't know about those 20 properties. So we will be continuously collecting money until we complete that acquisition of 20 to 25. That may take another 3 to 4 to 5 months. So that means you can come in any time from now, and the effective date will be, if you do it by the 20th of December, we'll give you an effective date of December 1st. And after 20th, we will say January 1st. Then up to January 20th, it will be January 1st would be your effective date. So something like that.
Awesome. So I think that is So what I'm hearing from you is I have 4 months. Initially I invest, and based on the project you progress, then I may have to invest further. So audience, I know many people are watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. This is going live on Facebook and YouTube. So we will receive your question, and then Mr. Velu will be happy to answer your question. And thanks for your time for watching. So the next question, I have is, you clarified, us on, what is the procedure and process. Uh, I have a question, while hearing your previous answer, right? So how do you manage the property, the real estate you are investing? Are you going to sit and manage the property, or who is going to manage the property? How confident you are about the management? Can you help us to understand that perspective of your business?
Right, right. So we qualify the property management company and we manage the property management company. And what do we manage? Basically, we have to improve the net operating income. There is a business plan. So probably we may have to build an additional small building or enhance certain things and things like that. So we oversee the execution of those capex budget. Capex budget is basically we provide a budget during the when you are collecting the money itself. After we close, we have a small budget to enhance the property so that we will be able to increase the rent, right? So we will oversee those improvements and implement the increase in revenue, and we will have a monthly visits to the property as well as weekly meetings. So fundamentally, we figure out who are good in management and we manage them.
Awesome. So you are going to hire an experienced professional project and property management team to do this. So there will not be no compromise whatsoever in the property management, or acquiring the property, or building the property, or inspecting the property. So you are pretty confident in that, right? So the reason why I'm asking is, I think when we were talking, you mentioned that the experience your partner is bringing to the table is enormous, right? So that is a uniqueness this company as a team bringing to the investors. So can you explain the experience of you and your partner in this commercial real estate area?
Right. The in the commercial field, commercial space, we have a combined experience of more than 30 years, but here Ned has 20 years, and the AC's Fund 2 has been started. Fund 1 was started 5 years ago, and it has 13 properties in Chicago, which I visited during COVID 3-4 months ago. And that is what we were talking about, like $100,000. The value of it is 3.8x, and it's already at 20% cash flow and all that, right? And they have an already establishment that has people, those who are putting in hundreds of offers and then selecting only 2 or 3 to go into a contract, which are, and then we already have an existing property management company, and all the systems are already in place. So we are not trying to reinvent the wheel. We are not trying to figure out something new. So it is all in place, and it is already, there is a track record.
Awesome. So looks like you have all stars aligned: the right opportunity, the right team with the right knowledge, with the right investment. I think this opportunity can be materialized very well. So our hardworking money could work for us. So the reason why we chose this topic is, many people are thinking that they are saving and keeping the money in a very safe environment is going to help us. But unfortunately, that is not the fact. And I'm sure by hearing this conversation, that would have opened their mind, saying that absolutely, definitely, I need to really consider this. So I would like to understand. You said that you have this 1-hour webinar you are going to share with the people, those who are going to reach you. Or so, if I watch that 1-hour webinar, will I get a basic knowledge about investing, how this investment works? Is it worth investing my 1 hour? If I'm doing business with you or not, that is beyond that, I'm asking a very genuine question. Why people have to give 1 hour to watch your webinar?
Yeah, it is going to be an awareness, and it's going to be eye-opening for you in case if you have never considered investing in these kind of opportunities. These kind of opportunities were not available to small-time investors 10 years ago. Only recently we have figured out a way to pool in money and syndicate the money and do these things. And we are doing it for the last 5 to 10 years, and it has been pretty successful. And I probably have more than 20 investments similar to this, and some of them have already closed. And to give you an example, first time when I invested about 5 years ago, $49,000 when I invested, I did not have $50,000. I said, I'll give you $1,000. She said, no, it's okay. I'll take 49. And they said that within 5 years they'll return 100,000. Like double the money, But in fact, they were able to sell the $3 million property with $6 million property by 300% profit, and they distributed 170% profit to us, which
Wow.
was like $137,000 in 17 months. 17 months. So that was an eye opener for me, right? So which means you have to really figure out whether it is true and ask questions and ask me to show you my past performance and the data and the proof and all that, so that you can try it for the first time. Otherwise, your fear will never go away, because it may look like sometime it may look like a scam.
Correct. Yeah, too good to be true is also it will open up a lot of red flag. Absolutely right. So what I'm hearing from you is before you advise or provide the solution to your customers, you personally went through this process. You made that money, and and of course the minimum the guaranteed in the paper is going to be very conservative, in my perspective less than conservative, but the reality could be it could be something more than that, and particularly this pandemic is presenting a similar kind of opportunity, looks like, for your customers. And congratulations for finding that secret sauce, putting all the bells and whistles in place. And I'm sure many people who see this video is going to reach you at least to learn this opportunity. So what I'm hearing from you is you are asking the prospects who are really interested in really knowing what it is, not necessarily investing. So invest 30 minutes with you, and you'll be sharing that 1 hour webinar, so they're going to see it, and they're going to get the benefit. Number two is like they're going to grow their knowledge about these investments, what is happening. And number two, if they're interested, and immediately the opportunity is available. And that's too coming from a well-established professional, reputed, real estate entrepreneur, Mr. Velu. So I think that answers a lot of unanswered questions to the investors. I think this show is going great, and I'm sure that the viewers are getting a lot of output from this. So let me ask you another question, sir. We need to talk about savings, right? Many people say they don't have the money to invest, right? So they say because they have a 401k, they have they may not know how much they have. Can you share some of the experience from your previous customers or even from you? And I'm sure you have come across this kind of situation. Can you enlighten us with, if someone says I don't have money, and I'm sure you will give a path for them to find the money. So can you share some of the experience or examples you have got from other customers?
Sure. Thank you for asking that question. Beautiful question. And we have a lot of checks and balances when we do all these things. So that I'll share it later. And when the money has to work for you, you pay attention to the money coming in, you pay attention to the money going out, you pay attention to the money you're able to save, and you pay attention to the money, how it is going to grow. So if you just bought a pet dog and then you're going to watch it grow and then feed and things like that. So like that, you need to treat it as like something which has life, and then you have to feed your energy and you have to watch it grow. And one of the tools I'm using is mint.com to watch all the values of my properties and net worth, basically. Supposing if I have the house, what I have, it goes into Zillow and then pulls the value of the house. Into my bank and pulls the value of my loan. So it tells me what is the value of money I have got in my house. And also it takes the value from my bank account and so many different things, all my investments, 401k and all that. So you need to know what is the return you're getting from 401k. What is the return you're getting from investment A, investment B, investment C, and you have to pay attention to it on a monthly basis. If you should be able to spend at least half an hour every week, then you understand which one is doing better, what are all the small changes you need to make, so that you must also have a goal. Now it is the December time, you better have a goal for 2021's earnings and all that. So most of the time I tell people 5 to 10 years, if depending on where you start, whether you have $100,000 or $200,000, depending on
Mhm.
that, in 5 years time or 10 years time, if your net worth can go to $1 million, then you are pretty close to generating about $8,000 of monthly income, horizontal income. And then if that is a goal, then you have to keep on tracking all the money, and you need to have a tool for that. That is mint.com. That's what I would like to, maybe there may be some other portals which also does it. I used to do it in Bank of America portal, but later on I did it in Mint. Did I answer
Mint.
you?
Yes, yes and no. So what you answered is, if I have a portfolio of investment, I can able to understand how much I make. My original question was, I'm living an average life, right? I'm living a happy life. I'm paying my mortgage, I'm paying my car, I'm paying my credit card, and I have few $1,000s per month in the bank. That is what people perception is. But if we do a good job in looking into the credit card statement, people can easily save $500 to $1,000 a month. That is what I was told by, so
I understand.
my question is, if I say, sir, I'm making a good money, but I couldn't save money. All the money is vanishing just like that. I don't know where, I cannot save it. I'm sure you must have come across this kind of questions, right? Do you have any answers for people like them or people like what I'm asking for?
Yeah, thank you for clarifying. So there are two parts to the question. One is, you need to do a budgeting, first of all, budgeting to know where the money is going, so that you have to first take the money for savings out, only the balance you have to. So you have to have 3 or 4 or 5 different bank accounts, and you don't touch this money. If you save some money for God, you don't touch it, right? Because that's God's money. Like that, if you put it for savings, you don't touch that money except you put it there, and you also save it for charity and all that, right? So that is one habit which you need to have to find the money. That is number one. And number two is, if somebody comes in, oh, I listened to Velu, I want to do it, but I don't have money. Then when they come to me, I say that, hey, what is the value of your house? They say 450,000. What is the value of your loan amount, right? They say $200,000. Oh, so you have $250,000, and you're only saving 3.5% interest in that for the $250,000. What if you do a refinance and take $150,000 out of that and invest it for 15 to 20%, right? Then you're making about 10 to 12% difference for $150,000. That is the huge money. That's about more than $10,000 to $15,000 you're making. That is $1,000 a month every month, right? And the same way, people, they change jobs, right? They change jobs, and the previous company, they would have put some money into their 401k, and they roll it over into the new company. But actually, they can roll it over into a self-directed IRA. They can take the money, even now they can take the money out and put it into a self-directed IRA, and then invest that money into a multifamily or industrial warehouse. So we try to help you find money which you could not find it. That also.
Awesome. That is the answer I was looking for. So if someone is looking, or many people are going to look into this video even after the show. Those who are thinking that, hey, I don't have money, please rethink it. The reason why I'm saying is because I know the success story. I've been speaking with Mr. Velu for years, and I know the success story is, if you think you don't have money, you may not be right. You can able to figure it out, how to make the money to work for you. I know when you hear the title, I don't have money to work for me, but unfortunately you do. Sorry, it is fortunately you do. Unfortunately, you don't know you do. So that is what answer I wanted to get it from you. You were trying to say something. Please go ahead.
No, the house which I'm in McKinney, I bought it in 2016. I put about $70,000, and today I was able to. About last week, I took $100,000 out of it. So that means there is no more of my money is left in this house, and still I have $100,000 of equity in there. So you have to ask for these. How does it work? So it is all possible. It is all called leveraging. Leveraging the money which the system is trying to loan you for your house and all that. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Awesome.
Fortunately, we are in a good country where there are a lot of opportunities.
Exactly right. So many people, think that they don't have money and they come here. This country is such a the land of opportunity. So you are coming here, you're working, even if you work for 5 years, you are in visa, you are in green card. You don't have to worry about it. You should start thinking how you can use the system in this country to best use of it. So the best one is meet people like Mr. Velu, to go educate yourself. And again, this is an awareness program, not necessarily to promote Mr. Velu, but Mr. Velu will be happy to sit with you, go through your questions and explain. I think that is what this is all about. When I was talking to Mr. Velu, our goal is to impact hundreds of people, realize them that what they're living at the table. What they're living at the table means just it is going, no one is benefiting out of it. So possibly Mr. Velu want to benefit your hardworking money. And we got a feedback from Mr. Adiamon, that nice interview and a very good explanation, Mr. Velu. So thank you, Mr. Adiamon. Thank you so much for your feedback. And feel free to share your questions if you have, and we will continue our interview now. So, Mr. Velu, I know that I have asked best to my knowledge, but you know better than me. What is the top commonly asked question in the first 30 minutes when they come and talk to you? What is the commonly asked three questions or one question?
What if it goes wrong? What is the risk involved? Those are all the type of questions. They are fearful, right?
Okay.
So basically, I say that who do you go with, right? You can trust, but you have to verify. Do they have a track record? What are their past record? How are they performing? Have they been able to distribute their profits properly? And do they have a proper legal system? Do they come from ecosystem? Do they have high values? Can I trust them? Right? Can I trust them? Does he know the industry? And is the industry he is going in, is it good? So, for example, if you go and buy a land and develop it, and then do a Montessori school or an office space or whatever it is, there's a lot of uncertainties. Because the approval can get delayed, the construction can get delayed, and the office complex may not be sold, or you cannot rent the office space. But we are going into a space where it is already profitable, and we just make a small improvement and we exit, right? So we don't take it too much of a risk. So what is the business plan? Comparatively, how much is the risk? So these are all the right questions for you to ask. And then, of course, you have to make an educated decision. And there is always a risk in everything, because nobody can predict the future. But at the same time, we all took the risk in coming to United States of America, and we are all doing well. It is a calculated risk, right? So you have to take the calculated risk, and that is what I educate them. That is the most important question people ask. And then another question what they ask is, hey, can I take the money if I need it in between? That means what they're saying is, if I become fearful, can I ask for the money? They say no. So the money has gone into a huge project. It is not a financial company, right? So basically, you'll have to wait until the end of the project to be able to realize the whole money. So if you cannot leave the money for a little bit longer, don't put your money in there. Put it in a short-term vehicles for a little bit lesser interest
returns.
Returns, right? So that is the another question I say. And thirdly, they talk about all the things that are happening. Oh, the real estate people are saying within next 1 year it is going to be bad. Okay, that is a different segment, right? So in 2007, when the whole United States house prices were going down, Valley Ranch in Irving here, none of the house, the price did not go down. In every, it was it's always multiple offers, because there are pockets which are always doing well. When the stock market is not doing well, some people are all making profit, right? So like that, you need to go to a person who knows what they're doing, because they know the niche, what they're in, and why they're able to make it. So you cannot generalize the whole thing and then become fearful. Right? So that is the third one, which I would like to say.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing from you is the tool and the system is available now, which used to be not available for a middle class, family. If you make 100K, even 75K, 100K, the system what you have never accessible to those kind of people. So which is very sweet. That is what this country is all about, right? Bringing the opportunity for everyone. So now the people can use the same vehicle used by millionaires, to double their money, triple their money, so that an average earning people also can be used now. So that is the great opportunity for everyone in this country, I guess so. So, Mr. Velu, then I have a next question is, I know you live in Dallas, Texas, but if someone from other state can also invest in your project, do you have any geographical boundaries?
No, anybody who can invest in dollars, US dollars, they can invest from anywhere. So basically,
So
yeah,
even from other countries also they can able to do if until unless they invest in dollars.
correct. They probably most of the time they create an LLC here and then
Mhm.
invest. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So I think I have asked all the questions on behalf of our followers to clarify it. Before we end the show, you know, to answer this one last question, why people have to act today?
So the most important thing is when you have the mind to act, when your emotions are in a state where it is in a resource that's called a resourceful state. At
Mm.
that time, you need to take action. So the first action, you don't need to decide to invest now, but you need to take one action. That means schedule a call with me or just go and fill up the form and then talk to me and then listen to the video and ask for other opportunities, other options. And then going forward, you can always decide what you want to do, but take one step at a time. And if you don't act, possibly if you don't act differently, you will produce the same result. If you've been producing 5% return, that is where you will stay. If you want to produce a different result, then you will have to start taking action, a different action. That is going to the website and then filling out the
Filling
form.
the form.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I want to add one more thing to your answer is, what is the difference between successful people and, non-successful people or average people? Only difference is action. Uh, because non-successful people have a dream. And I always say is people win twice. One is they win in their imagination. Like if you want to buy a $1 million home, you imagine that you are buying $1 million home. But the only difference from reality is the action. Only very few percentage people take actions to bring that to reality. So I think you and me, honestly, we are believing and requesting that, hey, don't just wish and sit idle, act today. Nothing wrong in scheduling 30 minutes, no obligation time, and talk to you and listen that webinar you just highlighted about. They walk out with the knowledge of how financial management should be and what is happening around. So that's all the request I think you and me are going to make to the audience of our audience. I think that is a very great useful information. I've learned a lot, I think. And Mr. Velu, do you like to add any additional points?
So definitely, what I would like to say is, yeah, when whatever facilities or the features available in a Benz car has become now available in an ordinary car because in
Correct.
every
In Toyota.
so, yeah, basically, right? Like that, whatever the millionaires were able to do, now we have those knowledge and we are able to implement those as well for ourselves. That's how the world is really, really, that is how all of us are able to grow. So
Mhm.
try to take advantage of it and ask quality questions. Hey, who are all doing it? How many times have you done it? All those things, it is the data is there. Google is there. You can validate it and get into the game and play the game. And once you start playing, the risk tolerance will go up and your confidence level will go up. Your net worth will go up. Your happiness will go up. You can contribute to yourself and to the world and you can enjoy the life. Good luck and thank you very much. I really appreciate today's session. I
Thank
really
you. Thank you, Mr. Will. I'm sure people, those who invested this 50 plus minutes will walk out with a great opportunity that could be a life changer too. So thank you very much, people, for listening, investing your time with us, and I'm looking forward to meet you in another session, probably in another show with Mr. Velu. So thank you so much. Good luck, and stay connected. As Mr. Velu said, this is how you can reach him. Please visit meetwithvelu.com, and you can schedule your free consulting, and he
Thank you.
should able to get back to you as soon as possible. Good luck, and hopefully you will try to make use of the current opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the listeners and future listeners. Bye-bye.
Thank you.